Jenny Turner with Lovejoy Real Estate. Today I'm here with Christian, head of our marketing department, and we're going to talk about AI in real estate. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Christian Panado, head of marketing here at Lovejoy Real Estate.
So there's a lot of chatter out there about AI. And as we walked in and we started talking about this, the first thing you said was that you brain dumped a bunch of ideas and then you put it all into ChatGPT to organize it for you.
Yeah.
So we used AI to make our talk about AI.
100%,
right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about that. And ChatGPT, let's just start there because that's really kind of what's, on the forefront. People know it, that kind of thing. How are you in real estate using ChatGPT to help you?
Yeah, so ChatGPT is one of the most advanced AIs we have right now. It's probably the most useful one for the vast majority of industries, especially for real estate. It's very versatile in what you wanted to do. It could do so many things, so there's so many uses for it, which is why we use it so much. So as an example, I brain dumped all the ideas I had and like my whole opinion into ChatGPT. First, I put it into like a sticky note.
Okay.
Then I wrote the prompt out, asked it to analyze everything and to generate a list of bullet points, right, for us to follow and to kind of just organize the ideas. Then I pasted everything that I had written down on that sticky note, and it put everything down and organized it within like 30 seconds, which would have probably taken me closer to 10, 15 minutes. So it's really time saving, right? Because when you're spending so much less time doing these tiny little things, then you're spending so much more time, especially for real estate agents, being a real estate agent, or I'm spending so much more time actually planning things out, or like big picture marketing, right? As opposed to like the small stuff. It's like having a little assistant in your pocket.
Well, and as a team lead, I love it, right? Because it makes you more efficient. You could do more things. One of the secrets with ChatGPT, though, and probably a lot of AI, is what you put in matters, right? Because it only knows what you tell it, or it only knows to do what you say. So you have to be clear with those prompts.
Right.
So give us an example. And yesterday somebody was saying, oh, did you layer those prompts? And you said, oh yeah, I layered them. What does that mean?
Okay, so the way I layer the prompts is I kind of separate it into sections. So I start with you, and there's two different ways you can do this. You can say you are, and then you tell it what it is, or act as, and so it acts as that thing. So for example, if I need help with newsletters, right, and I want to just batch a bunch of newsletters and get them done very quickly, I'll tell it to act as a professional marketer, and then I'll go more into detail. I have a lot of prompts that I've already saved into a Google Sheet, so I can just quickly go back and grab the information I need and paste it whenever I need it. So I do a lot of world building with my prompts. That's how I describe it. I describe it as world building, where I'm telling ChatGPT what the world is now. It's only updated to a certain point in 2021. I think it's the end of 2021. And ChatGPT 4 may be a little bit different than that, which, by the way, it's worth upgrading the $20 a month to ChatGPT 4.
That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Is I knew that was worth it, but I wanted you to explain why.
And so, what I like to do is kind of describe the world as it is now, right? So interest rates in 2020 used to be as low as 3%. There was a global pandemic. Interest rates now have risen right to 7.5%, depending on several things.
You have to teach it what is current.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so I talk to it about the world. I tell it who we are, right? So and who I want it to act as. So if it's acting as a professional marketer, that's one thing. If I want it to act as, say, kind of like a Jenny Turner, then I'll say you are and I actually have, this is one of my prompts, you are a successful real estate broker owner who owns a real estate brokerage in Portland, Oregon. I go into world building. Your brokerage is or works primarily off of referrals from past clientele because your company is known for integrity, honesty, work ethic, and all these things, right? All the things
you're
that
setting the
represent
stage for it.
So that way I can have ChatGPT kind of operate off of the same values that the company does, right? And I use that prompt, I use that beginning section of prompt for most of all of my other prompts because I always want it to come off of that same ideology.
Yep.
And so from there, I like to describe what its goal is. So your goal is so for example, for newsletters, it'll be your goal is to write a series of newsletters or generate a plan for newsletters for the next 3 months. And newsletter topics should touch on this, that, and that. And then the last, once I give it the goal, I tell it what I want it to do, right? So please generate these newsletters, or for example, if first I want to generate the plan, generate a marketing plan for these newsletters. And you never take ChatGPT just off of what it gives you the first time.
Right.
You always want to, like tweak a little bit, make it more personal, add your voice a little bit. And so I'll always get what it gives me. I'll put it onto a Google Doc, and then I start editing things and moving things around, changing some ideas up. If there's something else, like, okay, I saw this really good idea, like this could be a whole campaign by itself, I'll grab that, put it back into ChatGPT, and then start generating a whole campaign based off of that idea.
I feel like you could talk about this all day.
Definitely.
Right? So that's a great from a practical, especially as an agent, you want newsletters. That's a perfect kind of step-by-step of how you would do it. We've been using it a lot for video scripts, I know as well. And so we're talking to Nicole yesterday. She was getting compliments on how funny her video scripts were, which we both know Nicole didn't write her video scripts, right? You wrote them, but really ChatGPT wrote them.
Yep.
And you said something about you did it in a voice of a comedian. So talk to us about that. Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, so I asked ChatGPT to generate I think the way I phrased it was a 60-second TikTok video. And you got to keep in mind, because it only goes up to the end of 2021, it's not going to know what an Instagram Reel is. So because it doesn't know what an Instagram Reel is, but it's the same as a TikTok anyways, I always say a TikTok video.
Okay.
I never say an Instagram Reel. So I'll tell it generate a video script for a TikTok video that's 60 seconds long. It's about this real estate listing, and I give it all the details on the real estate listing. And what I'll do is, depending on what it gives me, I'll say like rewrite this in the voice of famous comedian Matt Rife, for example, who's really popular right now.
Yeah.
Or you can do it so many different ways. I think on someone else's video, I did a combination of different comedians. So I asked her, what are some of your favorite comedians? She gave me like 4 different ones. And I asked it to write it in the voice of these comedians. And it's interesting because what it gave me was it split into paragraphs, sections, and every section was like one comedian, then it was the next one, and then it was the next one.
Funny, it couldn't blend them.
It didn't blend them. So then what I did was I asked it to rewrite the whole script, blending together the voices of the comedians. So the way you talk to it really matters.
And it's interesting because like you're learning how to talk to it in a way that it understands.
Exactly.
Right? And that's not necessarily how you might talk to me, but you have to use the right words so ChatGPT really understands.
Yes, exactly.
So because we don't have all day, let's move on from ChatGPT for a second. What other things are you using that's practical and tactical in the real estate world today that other agents could find value on in AI?
Okay. Yes, that's actually a really important subject because right now we're getting AI overload. There's just so many different AIs and everybody's marketing their products as an AI, and not all these products are AIs.
Yep.
There are automations and there's AI. Now,
Wait. Tell us the difference.
So automations are where, for example, Zapier or Active Pieces, which is a free Zapier alternative, not as robust, but could still be useful. So those are automations, as well as Repurpose.io, which I recommend highly. So those are automations where it's just a program that you tell, when this happens, I want you to do this. And it'll automatically do that whenever that first thing occurs.
Yep.
So for example, Repurpose.io, I've set up automations within there so that all we ever have to do for a video is post it one time as an Instagram Reel, and then Repurpose.io will automatically grab that Instagram Reel from its source with no watermark, and then post it to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and LinkedIn. You can even go into as much detail where I have it set up. So if I say hashtag Lovejoy, it'll post to certain places. But if I say hashtag LinkedIn, it'll post it differently to different places, right?
And that's a huge time saver, right? You're not having to go in and post it on all the different sites. You've set up an automation to do that.
Exactly. And one of the updates they have too, so right now we use later.com to schedule some of our non-moving graphic posts.
Yep.
And that's where we schedule that first initial Instagram post. But we're going to save money there too because they're updating Repurpose.io to also schedule regular content, just like Later does. So now we're going to get rid of Later, pay for one thing that posts everywhere we want it to with less work.
And you have to really stay on top of this, right? Because it's changing every day.
Right.
So that's an example of automation. But now give us, if it's actually AI, what does it do on top of that automation part?
Yeah. So AI is going to be more intelligent, right? So it's instead of just setting up like a when this happens, do this. It's actually thinking and creating something or modifying.
Thinking's
something.
a big word.
Yeah, thinking is a big word. And a lot of people get caught up on like, oh, ChatGPT is crazy. It's a calculator for words.
Right.
So the same way like 2 plus 2 is like the most basic version of math, and then you have like something crazy. This may sound dumb because I don't know how much math is involved in quantum physics, but like
I feel like a
crazy,
lot.
like right. That's the difference. So it's just calculating what word comes after the previous word, and what word should best come after that previous word, right? So it's just a really fancy word calculator. So a lot of AI is, thinking is a big word. They're not really thinking, they're just calculating.
Right.
So there's a lot of different kinds of AI, but I have a list here. So for example, Midjourney. Midjourney is really great. So we created a listing video for a fixer-upper we had, Sayo. It was rough.
Yeah.
It needed a lot of work. And in that listing video, we talk about how great an investment that property is. And so what we did to kind of showcase the investment is we had shots, like say of a living room, and then we quickly cut into like some renovated spaces. And unless you pause it and really pay attention, what you don't realize is that it's actually that exact same space. I put it into Midjourney and asked it to renovate the space in the style of mid-century modern, natural modern, colonial, and then
to show the potential of what it could be.
Exactly. Yeah, and I've used it personally to get some ideas on remodeling my kitchen. So
what's it called? Midjourney?
Midjourney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give us one more.
So another really good one is 11 Labs. 11 Labs lets you create an artificial voice.
Is this what I read the script for?
This is what you read the script for. So I created a whole script that I had you read, and that script was just to get a really good sense of variation and tone of your voice so that I could clone your voice within 11 Labs.
It's good. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, and so now we have your voice clone in 11 Labs, and we've used that for several videos. We actually even have a video, and I invite anybody to go to our Instagram and look for it and try to figure out which video it is. But from beginning to end, the video was had the script written by ChatGPT. The voice was done. It's your voice, but it was done by 11 Labs.
Right. So I didn't say anything. Yep.
Exactly. And everything you see on screen, all the B-roll and the captions were also done by AI.
It's a good thing that you're for good, not evil. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it was even, so then we posted it. ChatGPT made the captions for the post, and it was posted one time to Instagram, and repurpose.io put it everywhere else. So I invite anybody to go look and
try to figure out which one it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wrap us for today, but I know that people want to hear more about this. And a lot of the AI that I'm hearing about at conferences, at big things, are just kind of barely making it. Like when you do it, it still looks fake. It doesn't look real. And I don't really find any value in that. Like it has to really be good, right?
Yeah.
Like I hope that if you go to the Instagram page, you can't figure out which video that is,
Exactly.
right? That would be, I think, successful AI in real estate, in my opinion. Now, as a team leader, I love it because if we can push out content that I'm not actually having to record, it's a huge time saver for me, right?
Yeah.
So I love the idea. We just have to make sure that it's good enough. And I think right now, a lot of the AI just isn't quite good enough.
Yes.
Yes, right?
And that's where a lot of agents are going to get caught up in that sea of just overwhelming AI. There's only a select few that any real estate agent should even consider using, and which are the ones we use, right?
Yep.
Because we only use, here at Lovejoy anyways, we only use the ones that you won't be able to tell were made with AI, right?
Exactly.
We needed to not just speed up our workflow and make us more efficient, but to be unnoticeable and seamless.
So can we do this again and give people a couple more in the future?
100%.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Jenny Turner with Lovejoy Real Estate. Follow us, like us, subscribe, do all the things, and stay tuned for more AI because this is definitely a subject that we need to talk more about.
Thank you, Jenny, for having me. I invite anybody that wants to learn more to contact us. You can DM us on Instagram or give Jenny a call, give me a call. I'm Christian Panado, Head of Marketing here at Lovejoy Real Estate.